Linn, back-to-back number one picks. You were talking about that a little bit up with the fans up there, but what does that mean for a franchise, and historically, what has that meant for teams in the league?
Well, fortunately, I've had that experience with two back-to-back first-round picks. It's been a long time, but I know what an impact it can have on a franchise. When we were able to select Lauren Jackson and Sue Bird, the rest is history. It led to, I think, they won 4 championships and MVPs and all of that stuff. So it's huge. Now, historically, we haven't had these players that have had a 5th year, so it leaves a little bit of question marks with who we might be able to get. In the past, you already knew, everybody was a senior and there was no more eligibility. So there'll still be some question marks as we move into the spring to see how 2 back-to-back picks could really impact us.
What do you think of, without knowing who could go pro like you just alluded to, what do you think of this draft class in general and what it could mean for your team specifically?
I think it's an extremely talented draft class. I think it's deep. I think it's quality talent at all positions, point, wing, post. As I've said all along, I hope they all come out. I hope they've all had 4 years, or some of them 5 years of quality play in college, and they're ready to move on to the next level. I encourage the players that have had 4 years to come on to the next level and get better and challenge your skills and be a pro, if that's what you want to be, if you want to be a pro. I understand the concept. You felt a game or two short of a championship, you want to go back, I get all that. But for the rest of them, come on out, let's go to the next level.
How do you balance what you're feeling in the moment of a lottery with the fact that you can't control anything about the outcome in that moment?
Well, we've already done all we could do to get 400 balls. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, we lost some games over the last 2 years. But then we get rewarded with the extra balls in the lottery. And so, what I'm proud of is that we were able to get the top pick, but yet we were still competitive this past season. We don't tank, we don't quit. We fought really, really hard all the way down the stretch to get into the playoffs. I'm still convinced that had Melissa Smith not gotten hurt, we might very well have gotten that 8th spot. So that's our character, that's who we are. And so I think we did what we needed to do to show our fans that we're better. We won 13 games. The year before we won 5. We had 2 All-Stars. We had the Rookie of the Year. We had 2 Rookies of the Year. The Rookie of the Year, and then 2 on the all-rookie team. So we saw progress.
I know last year you and Christy kind of went out to South Carolina and talked to Leah Boston, tried to convince her to come out. Are you going to do that this year with Caitlin?
I would imagine that our pool of potential top draft picks, whoever they might be, we'll definitely see them play in person. And our approach will be just like it's been in the past and just like it was with Aaliyah Boston. You have to do what you need to do. You have to do what's best for you. That we're not going to beg anybody to come out. We're not going to coerce anybody to come out. But that's just the way it is. But we'll do our due diligence, and we'll probably be in 3 or 4 gyms.
There was a buzz about the Fever going into this last season that previous seasons really didn't have, and the team really improved in a lot of different areas this last season. But are there any areas of emphasis you guys are really looking at as far as a potential player to draft at number 1 this time around?
Well, we need to score more points. We need to defend better. I can tell you exactly what we need to do. I was disappointed in our defense this year. Everybody knows that. The staff knows that. We don't have to be number 1, but I want us to be in the top 8. I'd be happy if we're in the 8th in the defensive categories. That's part of our identity. So let's don't say we're going to be good defenders and we're going to be tough defenders and we're going to be disruptive, and we don't do it. And we need to score more points, and we did score more points this year. We shot better from the 3. We got to the free throw line. We shot better free throws. So our offensive stats went up. And I know our new coaches, a whole new staff, new head coach, putting in a system takes some time to gel. And so this off season and this training camp, if we can take our defense up like we did our offense, I think we'll be in a good spot.
There was a lot of there was a certain like fun factor around this team this last season that I don't really feel like was there in 2021 and in 2020, but a lot of things changed in between seasons. Can you pinpoint a couple of what those things could have been going into 22
Sure,
that
I know
really added to
exactly
that?
what attributed that is changing the staff. Christy Sides is high energy, enthusiastic, it's contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious, and so she's a relationship person. She worked long and hard to connect with the team that she had last year. Her staff is high energy and hard workers, and so that right off the bat really helped. And then you add Aaliyah Boston, you know, the number one pick, to the mix, so we're already better. Kelsey Mitchell came back. Kelsey Mitchell got better. Melissa Smith got better. We brought in Christy Wallace and Erica Wheeler, so the changes that we made were all positive, and so that attributed to us having a better team.
Lynn, you've talked in the past about, you know, with the top pick, you want to take the best player available, but beyond that, with free agency and your later picks, is there any positions you think are more important, or you just talked about defense? Is there any skills you might be more interested in with those resources?
Well, I think it's fair to say that we really like our inside combo with Smith and Boston, the two young bigs. You know, we're all moving, just like the NBA, to more positionless basketball. I want 4s and 5s that can face up, that can spread the floor, that can shoot threes, that can put the ball on the floor. But we really like those two. I think there's still some question about who's going to be on either side of Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is our two guard, one of the best two guards in this league. Probably hasn't gotten the recognition because she's been on a losing team that she deserves. And so now I think if you ask me the most pressing question, it might be, well, who's going to be on either side of Kelsey? Who's going to be at the 1? Who's going to be at the 3? And then who's going to back up? Who's going to back up Smith and Boston?
Lynn, what's the feeling like knowing if things go right, this has such a seismic impact on this franchise, all the way from ticket sales to TV to what this team...
merchandise to everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's just an amazing moment. Last year was a significant moment because we knew if Aaliyah Boston came out, the impact that she could have on her franchise. And then to be able to add another significant moment like tonight, it makes me feel like that we can do what we said we were going to do. When I took this job over 20 months ago, we're going to get the Fever back on track to being who we're supposed to be. We're a playoff team. We're a team that challenges for championships. But you have to get high draft picks. You have to get a couple of free agents. You have to get players that want to be here. And you have to have a great coaching staff. We've got tremendous support from above. Pacer Sports and Entertainment is all in for the Fever being successful. This arena, everything about what we've got. Now we've just got to put the talent and get the talent, put them in here, put them together, and we can do it. I'm extremely optimistic about where we are.
Anybody else? Anybody in the room? Anybody on Zoom? Anything for Lynn? Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, I got two for you, Lynn. One, we talked about superstitions earlier this week. Did you send Aaliyah to the studio with any parting message of luck, or did she have any good luck charms for us?
She is the good luck charm. I sent her to Bristol because she was the rookie of the year, the number 1 pick, and I felt like that was about as lucky a charm as I could send.
And the second one is just, you talked about how last year was a significant moment and this year was too. Did it feel any different, the anticipation, the lead up, and then eventually winning the pick? Did it feel any different this year compared to last?
It felt a little different because one of my lucky charms that I wore last year is worn out and I could not wear her again. So I was short one of my lucky charms. So I was a little nervous. But I had another substitute lucky charm on under this sweatshirt that I wore the day we won the WNBA championship in 2012, and I thought, well, that'll be a good substitute.
Anybody else in the room on Zoom? No? I think we're good. Lynn, congrats.